Thank you very much indeed. What a lovely introduction. And what a lovely welcome. Hello, hello.
Kalimera.
Pardon?
Kalimera, Bert.
Kalimera?
Kalimera, yes.
Je parle français, mais je ne parle pas français très bien. Come state, bene, grazie? Io sono in televisione. National television.
Kalimera.
How do you do? Carimella.
Kalimera.
Carimella.
Kalimera.
Carimella.
Kalimera.
Carimella. We'll just spend 4 or 5 minutes here getting this right.
I'll give you a quick lesson. Kalimera.
Calimella. Calimella. Cadra. I'll give you one now. Me, Bert, me, love you. Teddy's watching too. I thought it was the way to go. What I'm doing each day now, I'm putting plants in the audience. She's my next door neighbour. Lovely lady. She's never been to Greece in her life. Which language was I speaking, by the way? Because I usually speak only 2, Australian or bad.
Greek it was.
Greek?
Greek.
Oh, yes, I know. Some more Greek too. 3 banana, big one, thank you. What's your first name?
Nina.
Nina. Well, Nina, whenever I need inspiration in the show today, I'll look straight across at you and I'll look deeply into your lovely eyes. We've got something going here. Nina and myself. Any port in the storm, eh? On today's show, we have some lovely people for you to meet. Nina, people that you will absolutely love. We have a beaut girl to start off with, Billy Wilde. If you've not seen Billy Wilde before, she certainly lives up to her surname. Lover Come Back to Me is the song, and the girl, Billy Wilde.
The sky is blue and high above. The moon is new and so is love. This eager heart of mine is singing. Lover, where can you be? You came at last. Love had its day. That day is past. You've gone away. This eager heart of mine is singing. Lover, come to me. I remember every little thing you used to do. I get lonely. Every road I walk along, you know I walked along with you. No wonder I am lonely. The sky is blue, the night's so cold. The moon is new, but love is old. And while I'm waiting here, this heart of mine is singing. Lover, come to me. When I remember every little thing you used to do, I get lonely. Every road I walk along, you know I've walked along with you. No wonder I get lonely. The sky is blue, the night's so cold. The moon is new, but love is all. And while I'm waiting here, this heart of mine is singing. Lover, oh lover, get here to me.
Lovely. Lovely Billy. That's an opening. Billy Wilde. With one of my old arrangements, actually. And Lover, Come Back to Me. Not too long ago, our first guest for today was a leading light in Queensland society. Her husband, Sir Terence Lewis, was Commissioner of Police in that state. Now he's sacked, and she says she's on the dole. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lady Hazel Lewis. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Bert.
I'm told just before the program there was some confusion as to how I should address you. What would you like me to call you?
Well, my given name is Hazel Bert, and you're most welcome to call me that.
Okay, and I'm Bert.
Thank you.
Good idea. Hazel, of course, there are so many questions that I want to ask on behalf of people who are watching our show today.
Yes.
I guess the first one would have to be, how dramatically has your life changed since the Fitzgerald inquiry?
Well, of course, we used to work 17 hours a day. Terry certainly worked 17 hours a day, 6 days a week. I also had very long days because I used to attend many functions with him, many dinners with him, swearing-ins or inductions of new police at the academy. I used to speak on the stress seminars out there to the young people, meet the young people going through the academy as future policemen. I would meet their parents and their sweethearts, wives. We had one little lass out there one day who was due to have her baby, and she was sitting in the front row, and I could see that she was ready to have her baby, and I said to her, are you very comfortable there? And she said, yes. She said, I'm fine. She said, my baby was due 3 days ago, but she said, I so badly wanted to come and attend this seminar. And we were all keeping our fingers crossed that that little baby wouldn't decide to come before the day was finished. But as it happened, she had it just a short time after. And fortunately, it was born before her husband was actually sworn in as a new constable. So she was able to bring the baby along and let us have a look at it. And
that's terrific, but we've just moved away slightly from how your life has changed emotionally since the Fitzgerald inquiry.
Oh, emotionally? Well, when you've had your name splashed across newspapers for the best part of 18 months, 2 years, the way we have, when there have been so much hearsay evidence and untruths, naturally you feel very angry, very frustrated that you have to put up with this. It's not a very pleasant thing to see your family name and your life being degraded in front of you like that, especially my husband when he's worked for 40 years as a police officer and he's given it all he could give it and worked very, very hard. It's a very, very hard thing. But we are a strong family. Our children are wonderful, strong children. We feel that we are fairly strong ourselves, that we have been able to cope with this.
What about your friends? What's their reaction been like?
Well, Bert, I think most people have a small number of true friends. We all have lots and lots of acquaintances, but I feel that we only have a small number of true friends, and our true friends are still there.
Many people disappoint you, people you thought were friends or close acquaintances?
Oh, yes, there's been a few. There's been a few that have disappointed us.
What did they do, just ignore you?
Well, you just don't hear from them. But our true friends that we've had for 30-odd years, they are still there. They haven't deserted us. So a lot of people that you think are friends are not really friends, they're really acquaintances. Don't you think, Bert? That in your lifespan of being on television too and in your lifestyle, you would meet a great deal of people. And something that I've learned in this last few months is that you have to be very careful the way you use the word friend, because my husband was very strongly questioned on the usage of the word friend. So I think you have to be very careful these days how you use friend, close friend and good friend.
How did he stand up to it day after day of going to the Fitzgerald inquiry? I mean, obviously, you're not going to tell us precisely the sort of conversations that you and your husband had, but, I mean, how did you draw upon each other to get strength to get through it?
Well, we've always had a very good marriage. We've been married 37 years and then we courted for 4 years before that, so I wasn't quite 16 when I met him. And they've been good years. I'd say 90% of the time. You can't go through a long marriage without having a few bad patches, can you? But they were never ones that lasted very long. I think we supported each other. Well, I know we supported each other, and our family have been wonderful. Our daughters have been wonderful, our sons. They've all been very supportive and very good.
I'm told some of the children, or at least one of them, had some trouble in getting employment because he is the son of Satyrus.
Oh, yes, yes, that has happened. But still, I think he's overcoming that now. Again, he's a try. He doesn't give up. He keeps on going. So I think that if you're prepared to try, when you're faced with a mountain that you can't climb over, Bert, I think the best way around it is to tunnel through and try to get to the other side. You can't just give up because that mountain is very, very high, can you? You have to keep trying.
Sure.
Television gives you a dry mouth.
Gives you much more than that sometimes too, Hazel, I can assure you. It's quite obvious that, I mean, you believe in your husband and you believe in his innocence. And at this moment, of course, I mean, he's been charged with nothing. But in this...
And convicted of nothing.
Exactly. But in this whole mess, let's call it a mess, where do you think he stands? Is he a scapegoat of some kind, as you see it?
I think he's a fall guy for enemies, perhaps, of the Peterson government. I think that's quite likely that has happened.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he made him Chief Commissioner, didn't he, Sir Joe?
Yes, he did. He made him Commissioner.
Very quickly.
Well, he was an inspector, of course. Yes, he was.
In the country?
Yes, but at the same time, he had... it wasn't something that just happened overnight. He was young, yes, but he was also very competent and very capable. And he did rise to the ranks quickly, but it didn't happen overnight, as a lot of people would like you to think it did. Inquiries would have been made and things would have been looked at in as far as his ability and his record, studies he had done. All those things would have been taken into consideration.
But you're saying it was political motivation that got him into this mess?
No, I'm not. Oh, now, Terry Lewis and the Queensland Police Force have been a political football ever since this thing started, Bert. For all politicians, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of police.
If charges are laid, well, let me put it this way. When the first charges are laid as the result of the Fitzgerald inquiry to other people, for example, hypothetically, will you then be thinking that the next knock on the door is going to be Terry's next on the list?
Well, Mr. Goss did say in the papers recently that the inquiry had cost $22 million. I should imagine he would have a fair idea of what he was talking about. I suppose there's got to be some justification for all the money that's spent, and I'm just hoping that now, with this new legislation, the Commissioner of Police Vacation Act that's come in, I'm just hoping that we're not looking down the nose at some sort of a showcase to justify the money that's been spent, for perhaps to justify people's political ambitions.
But do you expect charges to be laid?
Well, we don't expect them to be laid, no. No, Terry doesn't expect charges to be laid, and he sees no reason why there should be any charges laid. And so many things have happened that really there's no way that Terry has had any just treatment. He hasn't had any natural justice in this last 18 months. When you look back on the things that have happened, there was, prior to the last by-election at the Gold Coast, Mr. Ahern was on television saying that Terry Lewis is innocent until proven guilty. He will, unless proven guilty, he will be kept on his full salary until this thing is over. And just a few weeks after that, our pay was stopped. And now he makes a new law to destroy an old one. Sometimes you wonder if you're not back with the Hitler regime in the last World War. That's what they did, didn't they?
What do you think you've lost out of this particularly? Do you believe you've lost any dignity, position?
We won't ever lose our dignity. I think our dignity will always remain with us. We'll always hold our heads high. I'll always be proud to be Terry Lewis's wife, to have his name. What we have lost is our good name, the reputation that Terry has worked so hard for over these last 40 years almost in the police force. And he has worked extremely hard, he has studied very hard. Everything that he has done has been for the police force because he's always loved it so much. And sometimes I say to him, oh, no, you do it all again. He said, oh, no, I wouldn't. But I know he would because the police force has been his life. It's been something that he's just lived every day for the police force. And as far as our family name goes, how do you live and fight back when hearsay evidence is splashed across newspapers? Like there was one time there where Terry was accused of condoning a murder, and a short time afterwards, one of the chaps that was supposed to be a witness at this murder, he walked into the office of a leading barrister in Brisbane, and then this particular man appeared at the inquiry, and then after that, the man who was supposed to be murdered, he also appeared at the inquiry. And during that particular time when the evidence was being given about, or evidence, I suppose, being given about the Terry condoning a murder, they were great headlines. But you didn't see great headlines of retraction when the man shows up alive and fit at the inquiry.
So whatever happens in the future, you'll fight, you'll continue the fight?
We will fight till the day we die. Yes, of course we will, Bert. We will always fight. As far as the social part of it, it was part of our life. That was part of our work, the social part. I can honestly and truly say I'm not missing the mad social world that we had when Terry was in office, because I love my family, I love being with my grandchildren, I love my garden, and I love my tapestries and my knitting and all that sort of thing. And I can adjust and adapt very easily in that respect. I like to do my own housework, and I can be a very happy, contented person just with my friends and my family. So the busy lifestyle and the social lifestyle...
You don't miss it all?
It's not important. That's not important to me.
I get the impression that you know that you need to be strong for anything that
We are
that is
strong,
waiting for you.
Bert. That's why we've survived this long. We are strong. Terry was in the witness box for a month. And, you know, I don't know whether they were hoping perhaps he'd just keel over, and if he keeled over he'd be out of their hair.
Is he the sort of man who
would...
could throw it in?
No, never. Throw it in? How do you mean throw it in?
Fall into a heap?
No, because I wouldn't let him.
I thank you for your time.
No, he wouldn't do that, Bert.
Thanks very much, Hazen.
Thank you.
Ladies, Hazen Bert. We'll take this break, and after the break we start talking showbiz. John Deeks is jealous. Very, very jealous, because it's taken me, 2.5 months, but I've won myself a heart in the audience here. Nina is my way completely and ignores John Deeks. Everything he says, she's just looking all eyes for me. You've got great taste, Nina, great taste. A man who's got great taste in showbiz, especially when it comes to gossip, is our showbiz reporter extraordinaire, Peter Ford. Yes, looking rather swisho there, Peter.
Not the sort of thing you'd wear to the football, is it? The right time and place, it's
well,
okay.
Actually, it's the sort of colours you could wear to the races, because they're Patty's racing colours, pink and grey, hot pink and grey.
Jockey silks, eh?
Yeah, jockey silks. Well, yes, they're the colours that she uses. Peter, what is happening in the wonderful, wide world of show business?
Well, some happy news first. Who would you think was Australia's answer to Cher? Who do you reckon would be? Probably Nina was...
Yes, Nina. You took the word out of my mouth, actually. I was going to say Nina.
Well, I've asked a couple of people, and they said Jackie Love.
Yes. Oh, also Billy Wilde.
Billy Wilde's
yes.
pretty good. What about Val Lehman? Does she flash into your mind there? Because...
Well, Val doesn't flash into my mind all that often, but I love her very much. Why do you ask that?
Well, I don't mean because she's wearing black skimpy numbers to awards nights, but because Val is getting hitched to a younger man.
Who?
A guy called Charles Collins.
Not the radio announcer Charles Collins?
The radio announcer Charles Collins.
That's a big surprise for both of them. Dear, isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Love at last.
And they're up there in Ballarat. June the 10th is the big day. Now, Charles was the publicist on the stage show that Val recently did, called Better Known as B. Did anyone see Better Known as B?
You had to be fast.
You had to be very fast.
And they met each other actually in the production?
Yeah, he was the publicist
Must have been
for
an opening night, was it?
That's right. 4 nights it lasted. And Val is actually heading off to England because she's going over there as a group. I think it's an all-ladies group called Friends of Prisoner. And these ladies...
No, hang on a sec. Wait on.
So funny?
Please don't laugh at that. They have a group over there. It's a very big show in England. As a matter of fact, our show is going to England very soon. We're hoping to form a Friend of Bert. So what are they going there for? They're just to...
The Friends of
PR.
Prisoner are taking Val across, and they're big fans of Val, and they sort of swap photographs of Maggie Kirkpatrick and Val Lehman and Colette Mann. This is their thing. Well, Val, after she gets married, is heading across there to do the whole publicity round right around the country. So congratulations to Val and Charles. I think the age gap... I asked Charles yesterday, old Chuck as he's known in the industry, and I asked him yesterday and he said, I think it's more than 10 years. So I would think it may be closer to 20 actually, but who cares these days? No one cares.
You're a bitch, aren't you? Anyway, good luck to Charles and also to Val. I hope it's a very, very happy association and marriage. I know it will be because they're both delightful people.
Sure are. I've been taking nice pills and I want to say congratulations to
They're not working yet, Peter. Speaking of nice pills,
yes.
I've got to make mention of one little thing that I read in the Herald today before I came on air. There was, remember my photograph was taken down from the foyer. In the Melbourne Herald, there is a columnist, Lawrence Money, who does a thing under Tatler. And I must admit, I do enjoy most of his work. And in this particular par, he says that the Seven Network have told him that the photograph is going up. And the reason the photograph came down from the foyer in the first place was it was up there with, what do you call that sticky stuff?
Blue tack. Blue... Chewing gum.
Blue tack or whatever, and it came apart, which is, you know, quite a story, but it fell down, so they went away and they were going to fix it again. And his last line in the par was, the photograph is going back up because Bert's viewers demanded it. Both of them. Isn't he nasty and tacky?
Well, I read about myself in that column too this week. Ernie Sigley apparently suing me. Did you read that?
Have you been sued by Ernie before?
No, not once.
Everybody's been sued by Ernie at some stage.
And vice versa too. Right. Well, I read that. I don't know if it's true or not, because I started something on radio in Melbourne at 3AK called Hall of Shame, and Ernie didn't see the humour in it.
What did you say?
Well, we won't go into it again.
Have you been sued yet?
No, we haven't been sued
yet.
Say that. Well, can I say it?
Well,
no,
so.
We started up the Hall of Fame,
yes.
And we started up the Hall of Shame. Ted Dunn just collapsed, and we won't do it now, but we started up the Hall of Shame, and Ernie got a mention and didn't find it funny.
Oh, well, it may have been a bad day for Ernie. I mean, the whole thing is, I mean, Ernie's gone right throughout his career, and you just say the one wrong thing and the whole world turns against you, you know what I mean?
Only joking.
What happens else?
Sammy Davis Jr., we lost the plot. Sammy Davis Jr. last night got awarded the Humanitarian of the Year.
Here in Sydney. Here
in Sydney, and last night at the Darling Harbour Complex, and a lot of stars were there. Kerry-Ann Kennelly was on stage. Don Lane, Normie Erskine, all the Variety stalwarts were there. And of course the work that Variety does is well documented, and this week they've had their international conference in Sydney, and Sammy was the big star last night, so congratulations to him.
I wonder if Don took him back home to cook for him, because invariably when he's here in Australia, Don and Sammy get together and they have a cookout or a cook-in or something.
Sammy's at the Sheraton Wentworth, and he's demanded to have, he doesn't have great demands, but these are funny little things. He wants to have round ice instead of square, red fizzy drinks, and a chef on call 24 hours a day. That were the only things he asked for.
Yes, well, actually, that's what he asked for wherever he goes. I remember when he was over here in about 1982, 83. I shouldn't send that up about the cookout because I was invited to one at Don's place with just Don, Sammy, and Don's girlfriend of that time, whose name I forget, and I think Don did too. Anyway, we had this night, and it was a fantastic night. He got up and he did a bracket of about 19 songs, all for nothing. And then Sammy got up and sang one, and it was a great night, wonderful night.
Marlene Dietrich. I've got a book. This book has just come out, and Marlene Dietrich now lives in seclusion, of course. She lives in Paris. She doesn't speak to anyone. A bit like Graham Kennedy, actually. He doesn't speak...
hang on a sec. Graham happens to be a friend of mine.
I know he's a friend of yours, but Graham's now into fax machines. You don't talk to Graham, you fax him. And that's the only way to...
If it's the last thing I have to do on television, one thing I'm not going to do is fax Graham Kennedy.
Well, this book is out, and this is her own story. Now, there have been 56 books written about Marlene Dietrich over the years.
And they're hoping this one will sell.
This is her own story. She's telling it the way it was, as she saw it. I felt quite sorry for her after reading it, because she sounds like a very lonely lady.
Is Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin, yes, and they were very close friends, and there she is with Bert Bacharach, who was a musical conductor for all her live appearances.
Before the eye operation, obviously, with Bert, yeah.
And before all the hip problems she had too, with the broken leg in Sydney and all that. All those things are in the book. It's about to hit the bookstores very soon, called Marlene by Marlene Dietrich.
Just finally, Peter, give us your little gossip piece for the week.
Well, Joe Pearson. Joe's been a bit quiet for a while, though I'm quite pleased because I got so tired of hearing about Joe Pearson's miserable life. Did you read all those stories? about what a hard life she's got. She had to fly to Sydney. I mean, I know it must be tough, but she ought to try living on the pension or trying to pay off a mortgage. That's doing it tough, not being a TV star and earning big dough and having to go to Sydney to do it. But Jo's about to...
I think the pills are still not working, Peter.
Well, Jo's about to come back on the screen. Her show, Body and Soul, which is all about diet and lifestyle and meditation, has finally got the green light to go ahead, and it should be on the Nine Network very, very soon.
Good on you, Peter. And I want to put on the record, I think that the Joe is wonderful.
So do I.
We'll talk to you, and so does Peter. We'll talk to you soon with more showbiz news. After this break, there's more to come on The Newton Show. Welcome back. One of my next guests, Eileen Caddy, claims that she received a message from God directing her to establish a garden community in a windswept, barren part of North Scotland called Findhorn. 27 years ago, Eileen, her husband and a friend lived in this caravan and began the incredible task of establishing a garden amongst the barren sand dunes. Cooperating with what they called the natural spirits, a sensational garden emerged, complete with cabbages that weighed up to 18 kilos. Findhorn is now an international community, and would you please welcome the lady who started it all, Eileen Caddy, and with her, her Australian director, Craig Gisborne. Eileen. A very, very interesting story. I hope I've set it up correctly, but I'm also
Three
sure...
children as well,
3 children as well.
in a caravan.
What sort of a message did you get from God?
Well, we were just told to go to this place, and it was a caravan park, the sort of place I would never have chosen to go and live, and with a caravan. Or a trailer, do you call it in this country? I'm not sure.
We understand both, but whereabouts and how did the message from God come to you?
Oh, it comes from within. And I've been receiving these messages now for about 37 years. And I've lived by them. So it works for me.
You actually hear the sound of God's voice?
I hear the sound of a voice, and I obey the voice that I hear.
What other obedience tests have you been put to by God?
Oh, many, great many obedient tests, because I think there's not much use receiving a beautiful message unless you follow it through. So I've had to just follow it through, whatever I've received.
You said 37 years this has been happening. What was the first message you received from God?
The very first message was, be still and know that I am God. And then it went on to say that all would be well if I followed this voice. And that's the voice that I've followed ever since.
Does your husband hear the same voice?
My ex-husband, but he doesn't know.
Was that on instruction from God?
He works, yes, it was.
Was it really?
The whole thing has worked out perfectly.
Explain
actually.
that to me.
About separation?
Yes.
Well, he's gone his way and I've gone my way.
But you're saying on God's instruction?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
What did God say?
That we were to part. So we parted.
How did you break the news to your husband?
No, he broke the news to me.
So he knew before God? Sort of.
Well, or sort of.
Yeah. Tell us more about this property. I mean, is it still being developed as the result of
Well,
God's
very much
messages?
so. It's not, it's more than just a caravan park. We have quite a number of properties now. We've got about 6 properties altogether. So the whole thing has grown and grown from a very small beginning of a caravan with 3 adults and 3 children living in it. And I thought we'd only be there for perhaps 6 months at the most. But we lived there for 7 years. And to live at such close quarters for that length of time is quite something.
Eileen, I'm told what we should realise is that this vegetation is growing. You're getting these magnificent vegetables, etc., in an area which is around it almost completely barren. I mean, it's working in isolation,
dunes.
isn't it? Sand
yes,
dunes?
It's sand dunes, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, really, and truly, what we're doing now is we're developing people, you know, not just cabbages. So I feel that's more important.
Well, how do you develop people?
Changing their consciousnesses. Instead of sort of being negative, to really be positive, to be loving, to be constructive, to see the best in everything, and not always the worst.
To come to your place, does it cost money?
Yes, it does.
And how much does it cost me to be there, say, for a
Would you
fortnight?
like to ask Craig that? Because he'll give you all
Certainly.
the details, being the director there.
Fine. OK, Craig, you're Australian, aren't you?
That's correct,
Craig,
yeah.
how did you get into the setup?
I came through an Eastern mystic course. I was basically studying Tibetan Buddhism, and it was there, through that I actually heard of Findhorn. And I found that I have no problems living and working in the community. The voice that Eileen heard eventually told her that she was no longer to run the community through her own guidance, and that each one of us should receive our own. So I receive my own, but I don't hear a voice. I just sit and listen. I practice a basic, simple meditation technique, and that's what we encourage people to do. So if you were coming there to actually live and work there for a period of time, we would encourage you to, in your own particular way, give yourself time and space to sit in silence and see beyond the form of what is presented to you within the world at this present time, particularly our material Western society.
So, still, what happens there, though? I mean, it's fine to say that we're going to be called to a closer relationship with God, but how do we achieve that?
We would give you lots of different experiential techniques, meditational courses, healing courses, time to work in the garden, space to actually move outside your normal way of acting, because most of us seem to act much more from a logical, progressive, linear way of thinking, and we actually try to get you inside yourself and listen to what is meant to be happening inside instead of outside.
And how much does this cost?
It would cost you £160 for a week's course, and that's full board and lodgings and tuition, as well as chance to experience the community.
So that's in excess of $300 Australian.
Yes, that's about right. Yes.
About $360, $370.
Yes.
Would need to be a good week, wouldn't it?
Oh, I believe it's a very good week, because we've never had anybody actually say that they were disappointed. Most people actually wish to stay to go a little bit deeper.
Sure. Craig, I'm told that part of your technique is to play the didgeridoo. Is that
Yes.
true?
Well, I actually use it to help people get in contact with nature and to hear the deeper voice within the planet. Not
Don't you
just
use it
in
also
nature.
as part of your meditation?
Yes, I do, yes.
Can you play something for us since you brought it on?
Oh, of course I can, yes.
Love to hear it.
Okay.
Thank you, Craig.
I'd just like to dedicate it, though, to the Australian Aboriginals, because
Certainly.
it is their sacred instrument.
Right.
But you may hear something of the depth and wisdom within this planet through the didgeridoo.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. It's a wonderful instrument. Thanks indeed to Craig Giffen and Eileen Cuddy. Thank you for being here today on our day. It's quite a nice little segue now, because the next song you hear is relative to what we've been talking about with Eileen and Craig. And I might mention to my studio audience, if you don't mind, I'm wondering if when I introduce the Australian Opera at centre stage, please no applause, because they have to get a bell note. Pardon me being technical, won't you? In the Amazon, an area the size of a football field is cut down every 10 seconds. So by the end of this next song, which you're about to hear, an area of approximately 10 football fields will have been destroyed. People from all over the world and from all walks of life are concerned with our ecology and the well-being of our world, including our own brilliant Australian opera. 30 members of the company are with us today, including principals and chorus members. Their fee is being donated by them to the Australian Conservation Society, who work internationally to help save the world's rainforests. Arranged and conducted by Narelle French, please welcome the Australian Opera with Trees. just beautiful. And so great to hear that song again, the Australian Opera. And as I mentioned to you, their fee today is being given to the Conservation Society to continue their work. Thanks to everybody from the Australian Opera. We take this break. Like any other show, we've got to look to cutting budget, and we just had that act on, which was superb and unaccompanied. Beautiful. Ross, I mean, it's sort of... No, please, please, don't leave. Just a little joke. When you think about the most powerful... You weren't kidding, were you, Jack? You really weren't kidding. My personal cameraman, Jack, who is now 47 years of age, I've just got some little notes on the top of the camera, and he said, I've got to move back here for this next segment. Do you think you'll be able to see? And I said, yes. He said, I think you might be in trouble. You were right, Jack. Can't see a rotten. They have to come nearer to you. Beg your pardon. When you, see what I mean? Who, you might ask yourself, is the most powerful woman in the world? Is it the Queen? Is it Mrs. Thatcher? If you're talking about the 75-kilo powerlifting class, she's my next guest. Hang on a sec. Please welcome world record holder Heidi Whittich. It's good to have you on the show.
Great for having me.
And we've got the weights over yonder, which
yes,
will be...
having a workout later.
Yes, I might even join you if it's okay.
I hope you do.
Heidi, tell us what records do you hold, and then I'll tell you what records I hold.
Oh, okay.
Could be fun either way.
In my present bodyweight division, I hold 2 out of the 4 records that is possible. One is called the deadlift, where I lift 227.5 kilos off the floor, which is 501 pounds. And of the 3 exercises we do, I hold the total record, which is 552.5 kilos. I also hold 1 world record in a lighter bodyweight division in the bench press, which is 115 kilos.
Heidi, what got you into lifting?
Well, many moons ago, when I was about 18 and I was doing athletics, and I switched from sprinting to throwing events, specifically discus, I was always told as a female if I wanted to be serious about it as a senior, I'd have to get strong. And so when I started university, the gymnasium was available, and I trained for about 4 years there in conditioning, and I really loved it. It wasn't until I met my present coach, Ira Stearns, back in Adelaide, who's been my coach for the last 10 years. So until I met him, he talked me into going into competitive lifting, into powerlifting, and I found I was good at it, and I could represent Australia, and I've stayed with it for 10 years.
Let's have a look at the weights, and let's see what you can do for us.
Okay.
Okay? Come across, Heidi. Join us over here in our weightlifting department.
Yes.
What have we got here?
Well,
Yep, they're fine.
That's right. I can only demonstrate 2 of the lifts we do because we haven't got enough equipment. The first one I'm going to do is called the bench press, where you lay down on the bench, you take the bar down to your chest and push up. This is for your chest, front and back of your arms. So if I get 2 strong, good-looking gentlemen from the crew...
very hard in both departments here. Okay, come on. Right, mate, come on.
So I'll just do a couple of quick... This is my... that's my job. No,
Here comes from the John Deek School of Performance, I might mention. Come on, Wayne.
I'll show you this first lift.
Okay. Well done, boys.
Thanks, guys. That's it. So you just take it down to your chest and you push up. Nice and easy, all right?
Yeah.
This is 60 kilos, and my world record is 115, so it's twice that.
Right.
So are you watching?
Yes, oh, very close. Heidi, I'm watching everything.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, you can take it, guys. I'll show you the next lift now. Right. Got it?
This could be worth an Oscar, actually, you know. Academy Award, Wayne.
Now you have to watch this lift because, you know, I might get you to do that. This is called a deadlift. Yes, let's put another weight on it. It doesn't look very much, does it? I'll just... Good.
Okay.
Yes, fine.
Sure.
I've got it. Get your hand out the way now. Yeah.
Oh. It's called a deadlift because you don't say anything before you do it.
Very simple lift. As you know, when you lift off the floor, you should use your legs, not your back. So we walk to the bar. We're going to squat down, keeping our back nice and tight. Grab the bar, hand one way, one the other, and I'm just going to stand up with it like that, okay? So it's mainly for your legs and your back.
Well done.
Right.
That's terrific. Okay, one more weight, just for the hell of it. Anyway, just let me show I can do it. Wayne, you want all the fun.
Get your fingers out from underneath the bottom, it would help.
Yes, hold on. I think our romance is over, Heidi.
That's how it started.
hang on a sec. Ah. Phew. That's a real day's work. OK, off you go, Hardy.
This is 140 kilos.
Yes.
And my best is over 200, so it's just a warm-up weight.
OK.
But you're watching?
I'm watching very closely,
I'll
Hardy.
show you how it's done.
OK, don't start guiding. I couldn't stand it. OK, off you go. Yeah. That's good. My turn, boys. Bring in my special equipment, will you? Special equipment. I'll show you, Hardy, how we do it here in Australia. Let's move these out of the way.
What's wrong with these weights?
Well, I like to use my own personal weights if I could. Let's bring it in here, boys. Put it down very, very, very gently. This is called the Australian. You right there, man?
I think so.
Lovely. I'll see you on the Logie stage next year, eh? Right, OK. 1, 2. Hardy. Enough, boys. Thanks very much indeed for being with us on the show today. It really has been great fun. Hardy Willicks, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with you after this break with Marty Rose. Not my fault. Everyone's blaming me because we're running overtime. We're supposed to introduce Marty Rose. Time is really again. Ladies, well, we pay him, don't we? So we've got to introduce. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Marty Rose. We didn't quite get to see Marty, but that was just a little. That was a little of what you're going to see from Marty next week. Sorry about that, mate, but the reason I did it for you was, once you start that, they've got to pay you. So you get paid for doing nothing, which is nothing new to you. OK? Marty Rose, and you'll see him in full next week. Just before I go, I want to mention that a very important organisation, Save the Children, is celebrating its birthday today. It was started... Hang on a sec, that's a cake they sent me. It was started on this day 70 years ago. So we wish them a very, very happy birthday. Of course, right around the world they do wonderful things. And I want to give this cake to somebody. And who else but the lady who was so lovely at the start of the show, Nina. Nina, this is especially for you. Good luck. Well, nice to see you. Goodbye, everybody. See you Monday, 12 o'clock. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you.
When in Melbourne, our guests stay at the Hilton on the Park. This has been a Jim McKay production for the Australian Television Network.